I'm Dr. Sarah Collins, and before I tell you anything else, let me ask you something. What if I told you that one of the easiest, most overlooked ways to help manage your blood sugar isn't in a pill, a supplement, or some trendy diet, but right in the way you drink water? Yes, water. The timing, the way you sip it, even what you mix in it can make a dramatic difference for people in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. I know that sounds almost too simple. You've probably been drinking water your whole life and thought, how could that possibly affect my diabetes? Or maybe you're skeptical because you've tried so many things before. Diets that felt impossible, supplements that promised results but didn't deliver, advice that sounded good but never moved your numbers. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share has genuinely transformed the lives of hundreds of older adults who were doing everything right and still struggling. I see it every day. People in their 60s and 70s, taking their medications perfectly, following meal plans, counting every portion, checking blood sugar multiple times a day, walking every morning, yet still feeling exhausted, still waking up to numbers that frustrate them, still fearing every A1C result. The stress, the exhaustion, the constant sense of, am I failing? It's real and heartbreaking. These aren't just my patients. They are people like you. People who have fought this battle for years, sometimes decades. They've spent money on special foods, given up things they truly love, done everything doctors asked, and still, it feels like nothing works. Here's what I've learned after years of practice. Sometimes, the most powerful solutions aren't complicated. Sometimes, the biggest changes come from the basics that we overlook. Research from major medical institutions has confirmed something remarkable. Drinking water at specific times throughout the day can improve your insulin sensitivity by up to 40%. That means your body can use the insulin it produces, or the insulin you take, far more efficiently. But here's the key. It's not just how much water you drink. It's when you drink it, how you drink it, and what you add to it. Small strategic changes can create huge, measurable differences in blood sugar control. Let me tell you about Gerald, a 68-year-old who followed all the rules. He exercised, measured portions meticulously, took his medication exactly on schedule, cut out sugar, walked every morning. Yet his morning readings were all over the place. 145 one day, 185 the next, 162 yesterday, 178 today. The same oatmeal every morning, the same measured portions, and yet chaos. His frustration was palpable. "I don't understand what I'm doing wrong," he said. And his wife quietly added, "He tries so incredibly hard, but his A1C keeps creeping up." When I asked Gerald to walk me through his morning, everything seemed perfect. Coffee, oatmeal, medication, but then came the detail that made all the difference. "When do you drink plain water?" I asked. He paused, confused. "When I'm thirsty, I suppose. Sometimes with my pills." That's it. Hours of sleep without fluids, an hour awake without hydrating, 9 hours of progressive dehydration before his first sip of water. Once we made small strategic changes, warm water with a pinch of natural sea salt and lemon juice first thing in the morning, a glass before lunch and dinner, consistent sipping throughout the day, everything shifted. 2 weeks later, Gerald called, his voice lighter, almost excited. "My morning readings have been between 125 and 138 for a week straight. That consistency hasn't happened in over 2 years." A month later, his fasting glucose dropped 22 points. No medication changes, just water timed correctly. This is exactly why understanding hydration is so critical, especially as we age. After 60, several changes make blood sugar control harder. Cells respond more slowly to insulin. The pancreas produces less. Kidneys don't filter sugar as efficiently, and your brain's thirst signal diminishes, so you can be dehydrated without feeling it. Even mild dehydration, just 2% below optimal, can raise blood sugar by 10 to 15 points. That's enough to explain frustrating morning spikes or unexpected afternoon highs that seem to come from nowhere. And it's not just quantity, it's how you drink. Waiting until you're thirsty is a mistake. Drinking large amounts at once is another. The body can only absorb about 1 cup of water every 15 minutes. Anything beyond that passes straight through. Think of it like watering a plant. A giant bucket all at once mostly runs off, but steady, small amounts soak in. Drinking ice-cold water, especially first thing or before meals, can constrict blood vessels and make insulin less effective. Room temperature or slightly warm water is far better, keeping vessels relaxed so insulin circulates efficiently. This is where the H3 method comes in. H for hydration. The first 3 are the 3 timing points. First thing in the morning, before lunch and dinner, and during any physical activity. The second 3 are the elements that make it work: temperature, minerals, and timing consistency. Warm water in the morning with a tiny pinch of sea salt and lemon juice replaces electrolytes lost overnight, signals the adrenal glands to calm, and prevents the unnecessary cortisol-driven glucose spike. Just this simple step has made patients like Elizabeth, 72, drop her morning readings from 165 to 175, consistently down to 128 in just 3 weeks. She hadn't changed medications or routines, only how she started the day. She felt sharper, clearer, and energized. And this is just the beginning. By the end of 2 weeks following this method, you should notice morning readings stabilizing, less fatigue, and post-meal sugar levels that behave predictably. That's why I created this video. Thousands of people over 40, 50, and 60 are struggling needlessly, not realizing how much hydration timing affects their blood sugar. In the next sections, I'll show you exactly how to implement the full H3 method for maximum effect, step by step, and how to make it effortless in your daily routine. Now that you understand why hydration is so powerful, let's get into the step-by-step method that will truly make a difference for your blood sugar. Remember, this isn't about gimmicks, expensive supplements, or restrictive diets. It's about timing, consistency, and a few small, strategic tweaks that older adults can implement immediately. Start with the morning routine. When you wake up, your body has been fasting overnight. Your cells are thirsty, your kidneys have worked all night, and your blood sugar tends to run higher than it should. This is exactly why so many older adults wake up with fasting readings that shock them, even if they did everything right the day before. The first thing you need is a glass of warm water with a pinch of natural sea salt and fresh lemon juice. It's a small step, but it signals your body to start the day in balance. It replaces electrolytes lost overnight, improves circulation, and primes your cells to absorb insulin more efficiently. Don't rush it. Sip slowly over 10 to 15 minutes. Next, before lunch, repeat the process. This is not optional. The mid-morning hours are when cortisol levels peak and blood sugar can rise unpredictably if hydration is poor. Drinking a glass of water 15 to 20 minutes before lunch helps stabilize glucose, improves digestion, and supports energy. Add a tiny pinch of sea salt if your meals are low in sodium. It keeps electrolytes balanced. It sounds simple, but consistency is everything. Every day, same timing, same method. That's how the body adapts, and that's how results stick. Now, let's talk about dinner. Many older adults see the most dramatic blood sugar spikes after their evening meal. It's not just what they eat, it's how their body handles it. After a long day, your cells are less responsive to insulin. If you haven't hydrated properly throughout the day, blood sugar can soar. That's why another glass of warm water 15 to 20 minutes before dinner is essential. Follow it with slow sipping during the meal. Avoid chugging large amounts at once. Small, steady sips are far more effective. Hydration isn't just about water itself. Temperature matters. Ice-cold water may seem refreshing, but it constricts blood vessels, making insulin and nutrients circulate less efficiently. Room temperature or slightly warm water keeps circulation smooth and predictable. And don't overlook minerals. Just a pinch of natural sea salt or trace mineral drops can make all the difference. Your body needs these electrolytes to balance glucose, regulate insulin, and maintain proper nerve function. Many older adults unknowingly become slightly deficient, which can spike blood sugar without any dietary changes. Let's put this into perspective with another example. Patricia, 71, had been struggling with afternoon spikes for years. She took her medications, exercised lightly, and avoided sweets, yet her blood sugar between 3 and 5 p.m. would soar into the 180s. When we reviewed her routine, she admitted she only drank water when she remembered, often gulping a large glass all at once after noticing thirst. By adjusting her hydration, warm water in the morning with lemon, mid-morning sip, pre-lunch and pre-dinner glasses, and consistent sipping throughout the day, her afternoon spikes became rare. 2 weeks later, her readings were in the 120 to 135 range consistently, her energy returned, and she no longer felt that mid-afternoon slump that made her feel out of control. Physical activity also interacts with hydration. Even a simple walk can impact blood sugar. If you are mildly dehydrated before walking, your glucose may spike higher than expected. That's why it's critical to sip water 10 to 15 minutes before any activity. Not a gulp and run, just slow, steady intake. During activity, keep a small bottle nearby. And after the activity, another glass helps restore balance. This routine may feel too simple to matter, but for adults over 40, 50, or 60, it's often the missing piece. Here's the secret most people overlook. Hydration controls stress hormones. Cortisol, adrenaline, and other hormones spike when the body is dehydrated. These stress hormones tell the liver to release glucose into the bloodstream, raising blood sugar unnecessarily. Proper hydration, timed consistently, lowers these spikes, improves sleep, and reduces fatigue. Seniors often feel they need more medication or stricter diets, but sometimes the real problem is the invisible stress caused by chronic, mild dehydration. And here's the best part. This method is completely safe, natural, and repeatable. There are no side effects, no expensive gadgets, no complicated tracking apps. All you need is a plan and consistency. Start slow if necessary. Morning glass first, then mid-morning, then pre-lunch, then pre-dinner, and slowly integrate consistent sipping throughout the day. Most older adults notice measurable improvements within 2 weeks. Blood sugar stabilizes, energy improves, sleep quality increases, and even mood lifts. By now, you're seeing the pattern. Hydration is not just about quenching thirst. It's about controlling blood sugar, balancing stress hormones, improving insulin sensitivity, and keeping your body's systems running efficiently. And the beauty is, these small adjustments add up dramatically. In my practice, I've seen patients reduce fasting spikes by 20 to 30 points in just weeks, without touching their medications. Some have even been able to slightly reduce doses under doctor supervision, purely by implementing strategic hydration. And this is why I created this video series. Thousands of older adults are struggling unnecessarily because they overlook this simple, powerful tool. You've tried diets, exercises, supplements, and you may feel frustrated, exhausted, or even hopeless. But if you focus on hydration with precision, your body can respond more effectively to all the other things you're doing right. In the next section, I'll guide you through advanced tips for hydration during challenging situations, like travel, hot weather, or illness, so you can maintain stable blood sugar no matter what life throws at you. Now that you've learned the basics of strategic hydration and how it stabilizes blood sugar, it's time to take things a step further. Many older adults find that daily routines work most of the time. But what about those unpredictable days? Travel, social events, hot weather, or minor illnesses can throw off your balance. The strategies I'm about to share are what I call advanced hydration protocols for seniors, and they're simple, safe, and extremely effective. Let's start with travel. Whether it's a short trip across town or a long flight, dehydration is almost guaranteed. Airplanes, for example, are extremely dry. Even short drives on warm days can lead to subtle fluid loss that spikes blood sugar without warning. Before leaving home, drink a full glass of water with a pinch of sea salt or trace minerals. Pack a small bottle with you and sip every 30 to 45 minutes. Avoid caffeinated beverages in excess, as they can act as mild diuretics and reduce hydration. By the time you reach your destination, your blood sugar will be far more stable than if you relied solely on diet or medication adjustments. Next, let's talk about heat and outdoor activity. Seniors often underestimate fluid loss in warm weather. Sweating may be less noticeable as we age, but water loss is real. A common mistake is waiting until you feel thirsty. By that point, dehydration has already begun, and blood sugar can spike. The solution is preemptive hydration. Start sipping water 20 to 30 minutes before going outside. Continue during activity, and replace electrolytes afterward. Adding a slice of lemon or a small pinch of sea salt improves absorption and keeps insulin efficiency optimal. Even mild dehydration can create invisible stress that sends glucose soaring. And this simple routine prevents that. Illnesses, even minor ones, like a cold or low-grade fever, can also impact blood sugar significantly. Your body uses fluids faster when fighting infection, and medications can contribute to dehydration. During these times, increase your water intake slightly and add minerals if needed. Small, frequent sips are better than large gulps. Many seniors overlook this step, and it's often why blood sugar readings spike unexpectedly during illness. Staying ahead with hydration is the difference between feeling in control and feeling out of balance. Let's reinforce these strategies with a simple daily framework that anyone over 40, 50, or 60 can follow. Morning. 1 warm glass with lemon and a pinch of sea salt. Mid-morning, another glass. Pre-lunch. A glass before eating, slow sips during the meal. Pre-dinner, same routine. Evening, a small glass to support overnight balance. Keep a bottle with you for intermittent sips. Optional. Add trace minerals or electrolyte drops during travel, heat, or illness. Stick with it daily, and you'll see results faster than many realize. Here's why this works better than just drinking more water in general. When older adults increase intake haphazardly, their blood sugar fluctuates unpredictably. But when hydration is timed strategically, paired with electrolytes, and integrated into meals, the body actually learns to regulate itself. Insulin sensitivity improves, stress hormones decrease, and blood sugar becomes predictable. This is exactly what makes this approach revolutionary for seniors. It works naturally, safely, and consistently. And here's another secret. Hydration interacts with mental clarity and mood. Many older adults assume fatigue or brain fog is unavoidable with age, but dehydration often contributes heavily. When blood sugar is more stable, energy remains steady, focus improves, and daily irritability decreases. You're not just stabilizing numbers on a glucometer, you're improving quality of life. People notice. Family, friends, even your own sense of well-being. Now, let's address one common concern. What if I forget to drink? Start small. Even one consistent glass every morning for a week creates a habit. Gradually add mid-morning, pre-lunch, pre-dinner, and evening. Use reminders if needed, alarms, notes, or a visible water bottle. Within 2 weeks, sipping throughout the day becomes second nature. Finally, this method is completely compatible with medications or dietary adjustments. It doesn't replace your current plan, but amplifies its effectiveness. For older adults on insulin or oral medications, timing water intake around meals can help reduce spikes and dips. For those adjusting diet, this method supports digestion, nutrient absorption, and metabolic balance. It's like giving your body the missing puzzle piece to make everything else work better. So, to wrap up this series, here's the take-home message. Strategic, timed hydration is one of the simplest, safest, and most powerful tools seniors can use to stabilize blood sugar, improve energy, support mental clarity, and enhance overall health. Start with morning, mid-morning, pre-lunch, pre-dinner, and evening. Add electrolytes when needed. Sip slowly, consistently, and daily. Combine with gentle activity, a balanced diet, and stress management, and you'll notice results within weeks. Remember, small actions create big results. Drinking a single glass at the right time may feel insignificant, but repeated consistently over days and weeks, it transforms your health, stabilizes your blood sugar, and gives you back control. Your body responds beautifully to consistency. You're not too old, too busy, or too set in your ways to benefit. The strategy works for anyone over 40, 50, 60, and beyond. If you implement just these hydration habits over the next few weeks, you'll see measurable improvement in readings, energy, and overall well-being. No gimmicks, no extremes, just smart, consistent, practical action. And that, my friends, is the key to taking control of your health after 40, 50, or 60.